Hi there guys and girls, so this is a view of my dashboard. I'm sitting on this seat facing that way, driver wheel is over here, got my Google Maps running, I've got Waze navigation running here. I don't know how many times you've been in situations where the passenger, the rider might say, hey, you know what navigation system are you using? I prefer Waze or I prefer Google. I tell them up front, I'm driving on Google Maps, I prefer that, but should you want me to switch over to Waze, no problem. Obviously there'll be more left and right turns, some little diversions through neighborhoods, and very often Waze can shave off several minutes. Doesn't mean that the trip is shorter. In fact, most of the time the trip is longer, but you're saving time. So that means the trip is going to cost them slightly more. They need to be aware of that. So I have them here side by side so that the passenger can see it. That's why, again, I run two phones. And in crucial situations, if I have to get somebody onto a flight, or I had to once get a famous singer to the Grammys, his appearance was at 4 o'clock. They left it last minute, right? So they flew in from New York. On Google Maps, we were not going to make it. I then showed him Google Waze, which was crisscrossing town. We would have made it. So he goes, you know what, buddy, if you can get me there at 4 o'clock, I will be super happy. So I switched to this system, right? The other day, I had to have a lady at Universal Studios. She had an 11 o'clock appointment. This is the scenario right here. Driving time would have been 1 hour, 11 minutes. This would have just got me there very, very shortly before 11. That would have been cutting it fine. And one thing that people don't like in the entertainment industry, if it's last minute, okay, because they have a whole entourage waiting, they have a trailer waiting, makeup, dress, everything. So this scenario here probably would not have worked out. So I showed her on the dashboard live, bearing in mind she's sitting in the back seat looking, and I said, listen, here we can arrive at 10:40. But we're going to be cruising over the mountain, across Mulholland, a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of left and rights. Are you okay with it? No problem at all, just get me there by 11. So this again was the option we chose. I myself, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the hugest fan of Waze, because very often, and I'm sure you've realized, it'll take you to a main road where there's no traffic light and you're supposed to get over and continue the trip across that main road. So I'll come up to Pico at a stop street, tons and tons and tons of traffic flowing. The nav doesn't take that into consideration, that I need to get across without a traffic light. So I waste a lot of time. I might even have to turn, if it gets too long, I might even have to turn right and come back. So, yes, it's saving you time because it's looking at the direct route where there's no traffic, but it sometimes doesn't take the waiting time at these stop streets and main intersections into consideration. So these are all the factors that you need to know. Again, I always operate two phones. A lot of people say they can do all of this with one phone. That's fine, you can. You got to consider that I'm running Lyft and Uber. I'm running two rider apps, Lyft and Uber, and I'm running two driver apps, Lyft and Uber. I'm running 4 apps at the same time, and I want to be able to switch back and forth. I want to be able to show the passenger, hey, I'll save them some time, but it's possibly a bit of a longer route. Okay, so you may want to look into this. Again, I spoke about the magnets that hold these phones. I love them. They're very sturdy. Does it block the air vents? Yes, slightly, but not very much. But right there, I can see them side by side. My passenger's always very happy. Consider trying that. Let me know your feedback, and drive safe, my friends.